Hi everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Day's Podcast along with a new video. I want to thank you guys so much for liking, subscribing, viewing, watching, and listening. I truly appreciate it. I will definitely be making sure there's more Patreons and Spotify episode videos alike. But we will continue doing free content. Why not? We have more videos and things to talk about, more episodes. Hello. So we are going to talk about Because I Love It by Amerie, which is her third studio album. So let's look. Because I Love It is the third studio album by Amerie. It was released on May 11, 2007 by Columbia Records in the United States. The album was released exclusively through retailers such as Walmart and FYE before its physical release was officially made available on September 30th, 2008, by which point all future singles and promotion had been scrapped due to Amerie's departure from Columbia Records. As a result, the album failed to chart on the Billboard 200, becoming Amerie's first studio album to do so. Nevertheless, the album was a moderate success in Europe and Japan and has been certified silver by the British phonographic industry. So this was an album that was releasing in the midst of her feeling as though she wanted to be released. And artists have gone through that. There's artists that we've got to talk about that may have went from one label to another, or said I'm not working with any label, or went from one label to another. It all depends, or it happens. And she wanted to have more control of her music at this time. The recording sessions for Because I Love It started in 2005. It was originally titled None of the Above and scheduled for late 2006. However, plans were changed. The album was finished in early 2007. Amerie's first mixtape, Because I Love It Volume 1, was also released. However, the album was not released in the United States until 2008, and Amerie was dropped from Columbia Records and Sony Urban Music due to low sales of Because I Love It and the low performance of its singles Take Control, Gotta Work, and That's What You Are. Because I Love It is a primarily Because I Love It is primarily an R&B album, also comprising funk, soul, and hip-hop. Tracks like Some Like It and Crazy Wonderful also contain elements from 1980s music. The album was exclusively produced by Amerie and her husband, manager Lenny Nicholson, and produced by Brian Michael Cox, the Buchanans, I think that's how you say it, CeeLo Green, Kieran Goodman, Destro, One Up, Chris and Drop, Mike, Karen, Curtis, C-Note, Richardson, Bink, and Core and Bellick. Amerie's longtime producer Rich Harrison did not work on this album, although One Thing, which he produced, appears as a bonus track on the international edition. Because I Love It was the final album by Amerie to be released through Columbia Records, also her first not to be released through Harrison's record label, Witchcraft Records. It was also Amerie's final album to be released through Sony BMG Music Entertainment and Sony Music Entertainment before Amerie signed a record contract with Universal Music Group's Def Jam Records and Island Records in 2008. So, like I said, it can be in the sense of I want to work with a different label, or, as some artists have went through recently, I worked with a label, now I'm just going to do it myself. Okay? But it goes there. Yeah. Because I Love It was released for the UK iTunes Store on May 11, 2007 through Columbia Records. It was released physically on May 14, 2007 in the United Kingdom. It was released in Japan 2 days later and in Europe on May 28th. In the United States, the album was released on CD through Walmart on July 3rd, 2007 and through FYE on January 15th, 2008. It was not given a wider physical release until September 30th, 2008, though Amerie was no longer signed to Columbia Records at that point. Because of this, the album was not promoted in the United States. Worldwide, Because I Love It was promoted by 3 singles: Take Control, Gotta Work, and That's What You Are. So I think based off of the way the singles were moving, and there wasn't enough, and I said this with Remy, when, there's times labels may or may not put as much for you out of the sake of what may have needed to be done prior that wasn't fully addressed on either side. There's times the artist will, already put things together as opposed to the label already having certain things put together, and a lot of times there can be the misconceptions of where things are going and where it could go, and it's complicated. I don't know what it's like completely, but I can say that just from what I'm seeing with artists as we've been talking about, it's a lot. But it did receive worldwide acclaim from various music critics. So it's not so much that they didn't feel like it was, not around. It's just like, how come there's not enough of it? And like I said with Remy, it was just like, how come there wasn't enough music being distributed? So let's look at the track list. Track 1 is Forecast Intro. Track 2 is Hate to Love You. Track 3 is Some Like It. Track 4 is Make Believe. Well, Make Me Believe. Yes. Track 5 is Take Control. Track 6 is Gotta Work. Track 7 is Crush. Track 8 is Crazy Wonderful. Track 9 is That's What You Are. Track 10 is When Loving You Is Easy. Track 11 is Paint Me Over. Track 12 is Somebody Up There. Track 13, All Roads. So the International Edition bonus tracks was One Thing, which was track 14, and then track 15 is Losing You. And then the International Digital bonus track is One Thing featuring Eve, so which was track 16. But South Asian Digital bonus track 16, Streets Alone. Asian and US reissue bonus track, Take Control featuring Seven. Track 17, Japanese bonus track, Take Control, Old Nick Mix. And then, of course, there's the French bonus tracks, which was 3, Crunk Diddy, Losing You, featuring Willie Denzi and 6 Coops MC. Then One Thing, which is track 15, and then Losing You, which is track 16. So they kind of they put certain tracks in certain places, or removed a track to put a different track that would relate to that specific area. But overall, I think, guys, this wasn't a bad album either. I think what it was is just, again, when it came to Touch, there was a sense that, the album could have definitely been pushed a bit more. But with this, it was just very much evident. It was just like, it's not being pushed enough. It's only being overseas and only few outlets to get it. So, yeah. But I want to say thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I truly appreciate it, and I will be back with more.